My name doesn't matter. What matters is what happened 3 months after I made one mistake. A mistake so small, I didn't even think about it twice. I showed my bank balance to someone I trusted, not a stranger, not a scammer calling from some unknown number, someone who sat at my dinner table, someone who called me Dad. Within 90 days, that number, the one I worked 43 years to build, became a weapon, not against strangers, against me. If you are over 60 and you have ever let anyone see your account balance, your children, your neighbor, your new friend from church, even your own spouse's family, I need you to listen to the next 30 minutes like your future depends on it, because it does. Part 1, the day I learned the hard way. Let me back up. My name, well, let's call me Walter because that's close enough, and because what happened to me has happened to thousands of men just like me, and giving myself a name doesn't change the truth of it. I retired at 62, 31 years at a manufacturing plant in Ohio. I wasn't rich, but I wasn't poor either. I did what they tell you to do. I saved. I didn't touch my 401k early. I paid off my house by the time I was 58. By the time I sat down with my retirement paperwork, I had a number in my account that made me feel, for the first time in my life, secure. $211,000, plus a modest pension, plus Social Security starting the following year. It wasn't a fortune, but it was mine. It was proof that I had done something right, and I made one mistake. I told my son, not maliciously, not because he asked in some sinister way. It came up naturally, the way these things always do. He was helping me set up online banking on my new phone. He saw the screen, he saw the number, and he said, "Wow, Dad, I didn't know you had that much saved up." I laughed it off. I even felt a little proud. Look what I built. Look what I have to show for it. I didn't think about it again for months. Part 2. The slow shift. Here's what nobody tells you about revealing your financial number to someone, even someone you love, even someone with good intentions. The moment they know what you have, something changes in how they see you. Not always consciously, not always with bad intent, but it changes. My son started calling more often. At first I was happy about it. I'd been lonely since his mother passed 2 years prior. We'd talk about the grandkids, about the Reds game, about nothing in particular. It felt good. Then the calls started having a pattern, a car repair here, a tight month there, a mention of his daughter's braces, followed by an uncomfortable silence where I was clearly supposed to offer, "I want to be fair to him." I don't think my son sat down one day and decided to manipulate his father. I think what happened was smaller and sadder than that. I think once he knew the number, that number became a kind of safety net in his mind, not an emergency fund for me, but a background resource for him, a dad's got it account. By month 4, I had given him almost $11,000 in small increments, a few hundred here, 1,000 there, never a big ask, never something that felt like a con, just need after need after need. And here's the part that still keeps me up some nights. I don't think he ever once considered whether I could afford it, because in his mind I had $211,000. What's 11,000 out of that? He didn't know that the number he saw that day was not extra. It was my whole retirement. It was supposed to last 20-25 years. It was supposed to cover a hip replacement I didn't know was coming. It was supposed to cover the assisted living costs nobody plans for until they're standing in the hallway of a facility, signing papers with shaking hands. Part 3. Why the number itself is the danger. I want to explain something that took me years to understand, and once you understand it, you will never show your balance to anyone again. A bank balance is not just a number, it is a story that other people write about you the moment they see it. If someone sees a small number, they worry about you, maybe too much, maybe in ways that make you feel judged or pitied. If someone sees a large number, they don't see decades of sacrifice. They don't see the vacations you didn't take, the cars you kept for 15 years instead of trading in, the small pleasures you denied yourself so you'd have something left when your body started failing you. They see a resource, available, untapped. Theirs in some quiet corner of their mind, eventually. This isn't cynicism, this is human nature colliding with the specific vulnerability that comes after 60, a vulnerability that scammers, family members, and even well-meaning people exploit without ever calling it exploitation. Financial elder exploitation specialists have long noted a pattern. It rarely starts with theft, it starts with knowledge. Once someone, anyone, knows what you have, they begin, consciously or not, to build a relationship with your money rather than just a relationship with you. Part 4. The second mistake. I wish I could tell you my story ended with my son. It didn't. About a year later, I met a woman at my church's Wednesday coffee hour. Let's call her Diane. She was warm, funny, a widow herself. We started having lunch together. It felt for the first time since my wife passed, like life had color again. Diane asked me early on how I was doing financially since retirement. I want to be honest, at the time it didn't feel invasive. It felt like the kind of question a caring partner asks. So I told her. Not the exact number. By then, after what happened with my son, I'd become a little more careful. But I told her I was comfortable. I told her the ballpark, somewhere north of $150,000 plus the pension. 3 weeks later, she told me about an investment opportunity her financial advisor had told her about. Guaranteed returns, limited time. She was putting her own money in. Wouldn't I want to join her so we could build a future together? I want to tell you I said no right away. I didn't. I said I'd think about it. I said I wanted to talk to my son first, the same son who by this point I'd quietly started setting boundaries with, which is its own story. My son, to his credit, is the one who stopped me. He looked up the financial advisor's firm. It didn't exist. Diane, it turned out, had done this before, twice, according to a woman at the community center who pulled me aside after finding out what almost happened. I never confronted Diane. I simply stopped answering her calls. But I think about how close I came, not because I'm foolish. I ran a shift of 40 men for 2 decades. I know how to read people. I think about it because once someone has your number, truly has it, the door is open, and doors that are open get walked through sooner or later by someone. Parrot 5. What I do differently now. I'm not telling you this so you distrust your children, or so you become the kind of bitter old man who assumes everyone wants something. That's not who I want to become, and I don't think it's who you want to become either, but I do things differently now. And I want to walk you through exactly what changed, because these are choices, not accidents. First, I never state a specific number to anyone, not my son, not a friend, not a new partner. If asked how I'm doing financially, I say I'm comfortable, or I'm managing fine. That's the whole answer. It's true, and it's complete, and it gives nothing away. Second, I separated my accounts. I keep a small visible checking account for day-to-day spending, and my actual savings sit in accounts my family doesn't know exist, with a financial advisor my son has never met. If someone glances at my phone or my mail, all they see is a modest number. The rest is invisible. Third, I stopped letting anyone help me with my banking apps or passwords, even out of kindness. I learned how to use the technology myself. It took me longer than I'd like to admit. But nobody has ever again seen my balance over my shoulder. Fourth, I built what I call my quiet circle. One person, not a family member, an independent licensed fiduciary, knows my full financial picture. Nobody else. Not because I don't love my family. Because love and financial exposure are two completely different things, and confusing them is what got me into trouble in the first place. Part 6. The harder truth about family. I need to say something that might be uncomfortable, because I think it's the most important thing in this entire video. The people most likely to financially take advantage of you after 60 are not strangers. National Elder Financial Protection Organizations have repeatedly found that family members, adult children, grandchildren, in-laws, are involved in a significant share of elder financial exploitation cases, far more than strangers calling from a script. This isn't because your children are bad people. It's because proximity and knowledge create opportunity, and opportunity, over enough time, under enough financial pressure of their own, changes behavior in ways that would shock both of you if you saw it coming. My son is not a bad man. He's a man who, once he knew a number, started unconsciously treating that number as a resource rather than as his father's life savings. The fix wasn't cutting him out of my life. The fix was making sure no one, not him, not anyone, ever had that specific piece of knowledge again. Today, my son and I are close again. Closer, honestly, than we were during the years I was quietly resentful and he didn't even know why. I set the boundary. I didn't announce it as an accusation. I simply stopped disclosing numbers, stopped answering how much do you have, and slowly the request stopped too, because the door had quietly closed. Part 7. What you can do starting today. If there's one thing I want you to take from the next 24 hours, it's this. Go through your phone right now. Who has access to your banking app? Whose name is on your account as a joint holder, and do they actually need to be? Who have you told your balance to in the last year, even casually, even in passing? You don't need to become paranoid. You need to become private. There's a difference. Paranoia assumes everyone is a threat. Privacy simply assumes that some information is not owed to anyone, no matter how much you love them. Your number, the one you built over 40 years of getting up before the sun, of saying no to things you wanted, of showing up to a job you didn't always love, that number belongs to exactly one person, you. Protect it the way you'd protect anything else you spent a lifetime building. If this reached you, you're not alone, and it's not too late to change how you handle this going forward. Take the first step today.